The exploration vessel Helios 9 drifted at the edge of mapped reality. Its mission was simple on paper: chart gravitational anomalies, collect quantum data, and return. But nothing about the Orion fracture was simple. "Commander," said Lieutenant Mira Sol, her voice tight over the comms, "we're detecting harmonic resonance. It's not natural." Elias leaned forward in his command chair, staring at the shifting void outside. It wasn't empty. Not really. Something moved beneath the darkness. Something vast, ancient, and deliberate. "Define, not natural, Lieutenant." "It's responding." That word settled into the room like a curse. Responding? To what? Elias asked. Mira hesitated. To us. The ship trembled, not from impact, but from something brushing against its existence. The sensors flickered. Time itself seemed to stutter. Elias exhaled slowly. Maintain position. No transmissions. No. A whisper escaped him before he could stop it. Hello. The moment the word left his lips, everything changed. The stars shifted. Not visually, not in a way the eye could fully process, but something aligned. The universe tilted ever so slightly, like a massive entity turning its attention toward a single, insignificant point. Toward him. Mira gasped. Commander, something just locked onto us. Elias felt it before he saw it. A presence. Not hostile. Not yet. But aware. The arrival. The void tore open. There was no explosion, no flash. Instead, reality peeled back like a curtain, revealing something impossible beyond it. A structure. No, a being. It was both. A massive construct of shifting geometry, glowing with colors that didn't belong to any known spectrum. It stretched beyond the limits of perception, folding in on itself like a living paradox. And, at its center, a figure, humanoid. She stepped forward, emerging from the impossible structure as if walking out of a dream. Her form stabilized as she approached the Helios 9, adapting to human understanding. Silver skin, luminous eyes, and an aura that distorted the air around her. Elias stood, frozen. Commander, Mira whispered. That's not a ship. No, Elias said quietly. It's not. The figure spoke, not through sound, but directly into their minds. You called. Elias swallowed. I didn't mean to. You whispered. Her gaze locked onto him. And I heard. Every instinct screamed at him to run, to shut down the engines, to do anything, but he couldn't move. Who are you? He asked. She tilted her head, as if considering how to translate something incomprehensible. I am the heir. The word carried weight. Not a title. Not a role. A destiny. Heir to what? Mira asked. The being's expression softened, almost amused. To everything that remains. Middle. The choice. The ship's systems failed one by one, but no alarm sounded. It was as if the Helios 9 had willingly surrendered control. Elias stepped closer to the viewport, his eyes fixed on the air. What do you want from us? He asked. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she raised a hand. The stars shifted again. This time, Elias saw it clearly. The universe wasn't static. It was layered. Countless dimensions, realities stacked upon each other like fragile glass. And she moved between them effortlessly. You exist at the edge of collapse, she said. Your species does not see it. But you felt it. I felt nothing, Elias said. Her eyes gleamed. You whispered into the void. Mira stepped forward. Commander, don't engage. We don't understand what this thing. The heir turned to her. For a moment, Mira froze mid-sentence, her body locked in place. Time itself paused around her. Elias felt his heart pound. What did you do to her? He demanded. Nothing permanent. The Heir returned her gaze to him. This conversation is not for her. Elias clenched his fists. What do you want? She stepped closer, closer than the vacuum of space should allow. The distance between them shrank, as if space itself obeyed her will. I want to give you something. Elias laughed bitterly. That's not how this works. Beings like you don't just give things. Her expression changed. Something ancient flickered behind her eyes. You are correct. A pause. I inherit. The word sent a chill down his spine. Inherit what? She leaned closer. So close that Elias could see reflections of entire galaxies within her eyes. All that ends. The realization hit him like a shockwave. You're not just observing, he said slowly. You're collecting. She smiled. Preserving. The truth. The Heir extended her hand toward him. Your universe is nearing its threshold. Elias shook his head. That's impossible. We have billions of years. Time is not what you believe it to be. Her voice softened. But you already know that. Elias thought of the anomalies, the fractures, the way reality had begun to behave incorrectly. What happens when it ends? He asked. Her answer was simple. I take what remains. A silence fell between them. And if there's nothing left, he asked. She tilted her head. There is always something left. Elias felt a growing dread. And you want to give me something? She nodded. A choice. The offer. The universe shifted again. Elias saw it all. The birth and death of stars. Civilizations rising and falling. Entire galaxies collapsing into darkness. And through it all, the Heir remained. Watching. Waiting. Collecting. I cannot intervene, she said. I cannot alter the outcome. Her gaze intensified. But I can choose what survives. Elias's breath caught. You want me to decide? She nodded. You whispered. Her voice echoed with something deeper. That makes you heard. Elias felt the weight of it. The responsibility. The impossibility. What exactly are you offering? He asked. The Heir stepped closer. So close that the boundary between them blurred. A fragment of your universe. His mind raced. A planet? A species? She shook her head. Anything. The decision. Elias closed his eyes. Anything. He could save Earth. He could save humanity. He could preserve knowledge, art, history, everything his species had ever created. But something felt wrong. This isn't a gift, he said quietly. The Heir didn't deny it. No. Elias continued. This is a test. Her silence confirmed it. He opened his eyes. What happens if I refuse? For the first time, her expression changed. Something almost curious. No one has asked that before. Elias let out a slow breath. I'm asking now. She studied him. Then, slowly, she smiled. The whisper that changed everything. Elias stepped closer to the viewport. He looked at the stars. At the vast, infinite universe that was never truly infinite. And he whispered again. Not out of fear. Not out of desperation. But out of understanding. I don't want anything saved. The words hung in the silence. Even the universe seemed to pause. The Heir's eyes widened. Just slightly. Explain. Elias turned back to her. If you preserve something, he said, you change what it means to end. She said nothing. You're not just an observer, he continued. You're rewriting the final chapter. Her gaze sharpened. All endings are rewritten. Elias shook his head. Not like this. He took a deep breath. Let it end. Ending. Then it's yours. The silence that followed was unlike anything Elias had ever experienced. It wasn't empty. It was waiting. The Heir stared at him, her expression unreadable. For the first time since her arrival, she seemed uncertain. You would abandon everything? Elias met her gaze. I would respect it. Something shifted. Not in the universe. In her. The vast, incomprehensible being that had existed beyond time itself hesitated. And then, she laughed. It wasn't cruel. It wasn't mocking. It was new. You are unlike the others. Elias didn't respond. She stepped back, her form beginning to dissolve into the impossible structure behind her. Then it's yours, she said. Elias frowned. What is? Her eyes glowed brighter than ever before. The ending. The words hit him like a revelation. You mean, I inherit what remains, she said. But you. A pause. You have chosen what remains means. The universe shifted one final time. Mira gasped as time resumed, collapsing to her knees. Commander, what just happened? Elias didn't answer. He was staring at the place where the Heir had been, at the silent, endless stars. And for the first time, they felt truly silent again. Final moment. As the Helios 9 drifted away from the Orion fracture, Elias stood alone in the observation deck. He whispered once more, not to call, not to ask, but simply to speak. Goodbye. This time, nothing answered, and somehow, that was exactly what he had chosen.